the brutal violence of the Lex Street Massacre. On that night, gunfire shattered the quiet of the 800 block of Lex Street in West Philadelphia. The target was a known crack house. 7 people lost their lives. 3 more were wounded. This horrific event left a community reeling and forced Philadelphia to confront the specter of gun violence plaguing its streets. The Lex Street Massacre was not just another statistic. It was a stark reminder of the vulnerability of communities struggling with poverty, drugs, and easy-access firearms. This tragedy illuminated the human cost of these issues. It left an indelible mark on the city's psyche. The massacre also underscored the complexities of crime and punishment. Initially, 4 innocent men were wrongly accused and imprisoned. Their ordeal, lasting 20 months, highlighted the fallibility of the justice system. It served as a chilling reminder of the devastating consequences of wrongful convictions. The Lex Street Massacre, with its mix of brutality, injustice, and community resilience, provides a lens through which to examine the broader issues of gun violence, poverty, and race in America. This event continues to resonate, urging us to grapple with uncomfortable truths and strive for a future free from such senseless tragedies. The victims of the Lex Street Massacre were not just names on a police report. They were individuals with families, dreams, and futures abruptly cut short. Among the deceased were teenagers on the cusp of adulthood. George Porter, Calvin Helton, and Tyrone Long, all 18 years old. The youngest victim, Samuel Malik Harris Jr., was just 15. Their lives, filled with promise and potential, were extinguished in a hail of bullets. The older victims, Ronette Abrams, 33, Alfred Goodwin, 54, and Edward Sudler, 44, were also robbed of their futures. They represented mothers, fathers, and friends. Their absence left a gaping hole in the lives of those who loved them. The survivors, Yvonne Long, Bruce Carter, and Greg Kilby, carried both the physical and emotional scars of that night. They served as living reminders of the massacre's devastating impact. The perpetrators, Dawood Farouqui, Khalid Farouqui, Shahian Black, and Bruce Vinay, were young men themselves. Driven by a toxic mix of greed and disregard for human life, they perpetrated this horrific act. Their motives appeared to stem from the drug trade, highlighting the interconnectedness of drugs, violence, and despair that plagued the community. The Farouqui brothers and Black, identified as the gunmen, were convicted of first-degree murder. They were sentenced to 7 consecutive life sentences, a stark reminder of the gravity of their crimes. Vini, the getaway driver, pleaded guilty to third-degree murder. He received a 15 to 30-year sentence and was eventually paroled in 2019, a decision that sparked debate about justice and accountability. The victims and perpetrators of the Lex Street Massacre represent 2 sides of a tragic coin. Their stories illustrate the devastating consequences of life and the urgent need for societal change. The investigation into the Lex Street Massacre was complex and fraught with challenges. The crime scene, chaotic and littered with evidence, presented a daunting task for investigators. The initial investigation, marred by errors and assumptions, led to the wrongful arrest and imprisonment of 4 innocent men. This miscarriage of justice added another layer of pain and outrage to an already reeling community. After months of legal battles and public outcry, the 4 men were exonerated. They received a $1.9 million settlement, a paltry sum compared to the ordeal they endured. This case highlighted the systemic flaws within the criminal justice system and the urgent need for reform. The eventual conviction of the actual perpetrators offered some semblance of justice. However, it did little to erase the pain and trauma inflicted upon the victims' families and the community. The massacre exposed the deep-seated issues of poverty, drug addiction, and gun violence plaguing Philadelphia. It forced the city to confront its demons and acknowledge the urgent need for change. The Lex Street Massacre served as a turning point in Philadelphia's history. It sparked conversations about police accountability, criminal justice reform, and the need for social programs to address the root causes of violence. The tragedy also ignited a spirit of resilience within the community. Residents, determined to reclaim their neighborhood from fear and despair, organized peace marches and community initiatives. The Lex Street Massacre cast a long shadow over Philadelphia. It served as a stark reminder of the city's struggles with gun violence. In 2000, the year of the massacre, Philadelphia recorded 317 homicides, a sobering statistic that underscored the pervasiveness of gun violence. The easy access to firearms, fueled by lax gun laws in Pennsylvania, contributed to the city's high homicide rate. Then Police Commissioner John F. Timoney voiced his concerns, urging for stricter gun control measures to curb the flow of illegal weapons into the city. However, his pleas seemed to fall on deaf ears as gun violence continued to plague Philadelphia. The Lex Street Massacre transcended the boundaries of a single event. It became a symbol of the systemic issues that plagued many American cities: poverty, inequality, lack of opportunity, and the proliferation of firearms. The massacre forced Philadelphia to confront these uncomfortable truths and acknowledge the urgent need for comprehensive solutions. In the years following the massacre, Philadelphia implemented various initiatives to combat gun violence. These included increased police presence in high-crime areas, community policing programs, and social programs aimed at providing opportunities for at-risk youth. While these efforts yielded some success, the fight against gun violence remained an ongoing battle. The Lex Street Massacre continues to haunt Philadelphia's collective memory. It stands as a chilling reminder of the devastating impact of gun violence and the urgent need to address the root causes of crime. The tragedy serves as a call to action, urging us to remember the victims, learn from the past, and work towards a future where